Hello. I spoke yesterday about the acute shortage of housing in the Greater Bristol area. Any one of us could have an accident, become ill, be made redundant, or the landlord might decide to sell the building we're renting. We need to have some kind of safety net to provide basic accommodation for families to keep them together until they can sort their lives out. I'm not talking here about luxury, I'm talking about something that is basic but adequate. It will of course take money, and we need to get on and do it quickly. So what is my emergency housing plan? Well, the first part concerns Filton Airfield. I told you yesterday that the government sold its interest in the site for 14.05 million. I suggest we give BAE Systems their 14.05 million pounds back and take it back into public ownership. We then have a strip of concrete 2 feet thick, 300 feet wide and over 8,000 feet long. That's big enough to put 2,500 three-bedroomed prefabricated houses on it. Alternatively, we could buy second-hand caravans and park them up there. I'm not talking about luxury, remember, I'm talking about basic accommodation so that people don't have hardship while they sort their problems out. Another suggestion that I've got concerns the use of shipping containers. Next time you're down near Temple Meads, have a look at the 2 rows of shipping containers next to the original station building. They're called the engine shed, and they've been kitted out as offices. But I think we could turn them into accommodation for single people. Put a toilet, a shower in, a small kitchen area, a bed, and there'd still be room for a desk or some other furniture. It would cost about £10,000 per container apparently. Not luxury, but we could rent them out quite cheaply, and that would give young people the chance to save up and perhaps buy a place of their own. Where could we put them? Well, I would suggest places like the old clerical medical site in Narrow Plain. That was the 70s building with the orange windows. They pulled it down because it was only 3 stories high, and they want to build a 5-story office block there, which will make a lot more money. But they haven't built it. Well, while this site isn't being used, why couldn't we put temporary accommodation such as shipping containers on it? There's another site just down the road past the Bristol Post building where IBM used to have an office block. There are also sites where there are derelict buildings. The one you'll all know about is the station sorting office in Cattle Market Road. That's been derelict for 18 years. And Westmoreland House in Stokes Croft was last occupied by Regional Pools Promotions in 1976. Now, a problem I see with these is that if a building is unusable, you don't pay business rates on it. I think that we should allow companies a year to find a new tenant, and then we should start charging them business rates. At the end of the second year, we should charge them double business rates, and so on. In the case of buildings that are smashed up so they're unusable or pulled down, I think we should start charging them business rates straight away. Of course, if they let us borrow the site to put temporary housing on, we could let them off the business rates. I know this might be a bit difficult when they want the site back and we have to move the containers, but I think that would probably be better to have a container that's moved around a bit than to be sofa surfing. There's another idea I've had as well concerning Hallfield Prison. The government has decided it would like to close it because it's uneconomic, and then they'll sell the land for housing. Well, why not give it to Bristol City Council instead? Now, I know what you're thinking, putting homeless people in prison isn't a very good idea, but think about this for a minute. All the cells now have toilets in because they've done away with slopping out. If you take the bars off the windows and put a bolt inside so they can lock the door, tidy it up, paint it up nicely, I would suggest that a single room with a bed and a toilet would be much nicer than sleeping in a shop doorway. And there must be shower facilities there and some catering facilities. And there are plenty of charities that try to help the homeless. We could provide facilities for them there to help these people. Lots of people who are sleeping rough have mental health problems, or they have drink or drug problems. And there are also, of course, women who desperately need safe, secure accommodation to get away from abusive relationships. Some of the more modern buildings in the prison, possibly we could convert so that 3 or 4 cells could be made into a family unit. Put a kitchen in one and put a corridor of some sort in. Now, I haven't looked at any of these proposals in depth, so please tell me if you can see any problems with them or you've got any suggestions. What's the benefit of doing all this? Well, one of the things I think it would do is to take the heat out of the housing market. Now, with any luck, that will force house prices down. And also possibly rents as well. If we can do that, then we will enable the market to satisfy the housing demand without the kind of trouble we have at the moment with people frantically trying to pay outrageous mortgages and prices just rocketing upwards again and again. As I said, I'm sure there are some flaws with these plans, and you'll let me know all about them, I hope. One problem I can see is if we are successful in providing accommodation for everybody, then we'll have people flooding in from other areas. So we'll have to have some definition as to what constitutes a citizen of Greater Bristol. Anyway, I'd like you to tell me what you think. bishopstonbarry@uwclub.net is the place to send your comments to. If you like what you've heard, or even if you don't, then please share it. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. I thought I'd leave it as a surprise. Bye.